Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I actually planned on filming something a bit fun, something a bit lively, but on the way back to Lincoln yesterday in the car, I was sort of like sitting and reflecting on how I was feeling and how so much has changed within the last year that I thought today's video would be best to do a story time just to get a few things off my chest and sort of explain my life and my background and how I've completely changed over the past year. Like, I don't know, I just sort of wanted to like voice my opinions and maybe give some sort of, not advice, but sort of motivation and hope for some people who may have been in my position last year or in the position I was last year now. Yeah, I just sort of wanted to sort of share my story. So I guess this is sort of a story on how I've changed my life over the past year and how your confidence can completely grow from nothing to something that's so big and bright and hopeful. Like, I don't know, I don't want to sound cringy and I also don't want this video to get too deep, but I just think this might be beneficial for people who are feeling unfulfilled with their life at the minute, unhappy, and don't think there's any hope for the future. I just want people to know that there is. And I know so many people will say it like, it always gets better or it only goes up and stuff like that, but I just thought it would be nice to share like a realistic story of how my life was and how it's completely changed. I'm not saying at all, before I start this video, that this is the worst thing that could have happened to me. There are so many awful like illnesses and abusive things and something a lot more intense that could have happened to other people in the world. I'm not saying my whole situation, whole life has been awful, because it hasn't. I have been surrounded by amazing people, but I just thought I'd share my story and how I've changed. I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling. Let me just get on with my story time. It's kind of a story to do with mental health or mental state more. Through infant school, primary school, everything was fine. I was a child, I didn't really care about anyone's opinions. I just kept myself to myself, had a group of friends. We obviously had like the typical fallouts, then made friends again, blah blah. And then when it came to secondary school, everything was fine, I guess, from like year 7 to 9. I'd have fallouts with people, then make friends, fallouts, make friends. And then I had like a solid group of friends. There was 4 of us from maybe like end of year 8 to the beginning of year 10. No, yes, the beginning of year 10, I think it was. And yeah, there was like 4 of us, and I like made so many memories of those people. It was amazing. Like, I still have pictures with them in my scrapbooks and stuff because they were a massive part of my life at the time, and I do like still remember those moments. We went on holidays with school together. It was amazing. Like, I loved being friends with them. And then something just like happened within the group and we just sort of like fell apart. It was nothing major. I think it was just maybe like talking behind each other's backs and stuff, and everything just went crazy. But I got like kicked out of the group. I don't know, like it makes me sad. It does make me sad thinking back at it, but then I feel like I was very different to some of those people. And I feel like year 7 to 9, I think everyone has this, what's it called? It's like, oh, my brother said it the other day, I think it's like normative social influence, something like that, please correct me if I'm wrong, where everyone like sticks with the crowd, does what everyone else does, sticks on the same fashion trends. Everyone just bought the same things and did the same things. Like, I don't know, everyone just influenced each other and everyone copies, blah, blah, blah. I was one of those people in year 7 to 9. I feel like I just didn't know any better and I didn't know how to express myself or who I was or anything back then. From year 10 onwards, like once I fell out with that group, I kind of found myself, not found myself, that's so deep and just, it's not what I'm trying to say, but I kind of like started to develop my own emotions a bit more, started thinking about things mentally, and it kind of went downhill from this point. I then moved on to a different group of friends who I also got on with so well, and I want to say there was like 6 to 8 people in this group, and everything was good again. And then I think the group split in half and there was like, oh, I don't even know. And then I sort of like separated myself from that group and I was on my own again. I did have a best friend at the time at school as well as Megan outside of school. for those of you that don't know, I have a best friend called Megan. We've been friends all throughout primary school and infant school and stuff, but she went to a different secondary school to me, so I did have her, but it would have been nice to obviously have someone who stuck with me at my secondary school throughout the entire time, like, because I know some people have like best friends from year 7 to year 13, but I just didn't at all. Like, I kept moving from friendship group to friendship group. I can't really blame anyone for that. Like, people grow up and grow apart. People have different outlooks on different situations, and obviously everyone grows up and stuff and becomes an adult. And then it got to sixth form where everything like deteriorated really badly. My mental health was awful, and I don't want to be like one of those people like I was anxious, I was depressed, blah blah, but I did go through a very difficult time where I was both anxious, depressed, and I literally couldn't see any sort of light at the end of the tunnel, or whatever. At the beginning of sixth form, I thought my expectations of sixth form was that everyone's gonna have grown up, everyone's gonna stop being immature and spreading rumours and be straight up and stuff, but that was not the case at all. I feel like it got 100 times worse. That really stresses me out, because I feel like at that point in your life you should be focusing on your studies, which I was anyway. I was focusing on getting my A-level so I could get to uni, because that's what I wanted to do with my life. But a lot of people just didn't grow up and just carried on being nasty, spreading rumours, and just literally made my life hell at sixth form. There was a rumour that got spread around me at the beginning of year 13. This time last year actually, it was probably around November at this point last year, where everyone was like against me, or what I felt was everyone against me at school. Isolated me from every single person at my school apart from my boyfriend, and I spent every single day either in the library studying or having panic attacks. I remember there was this one significant moment where I was walking up the stairs to my science lesson. I just said goodbye to, I just said bye to Aiden because he was like going to his lesson wherever, and I walked up like 3 of the steps to the science building, and I had this like really horrible like shooting pain through my body. I thought I was gonna throw up, and I started just like it was probably one of my worst panic attacks ever. I was on my own, I was like bawling my eyes out, I like ran to the toilet, so I was like, I didn't know what to do because obviously I had a lesson and it was really important. So then I ended up going to, I can't remember her title, but one of the women who like work within the sixth form that like deal with that sort of thing, and I was just like melting down. I was crying, I had no idea why, and then she like and I couldn't explain anything. Like, I just didn't know like why I was sad or what was making me so upset. Everything just got on top of me, and she rang my mum up and my dad picked me up or something, and then I went home, and like my parents questioned why I was sad and I couldn't explain it. My boyfriend would ask me why I was sad, and I couldn't explain why I was feeling how I was. It's so difficult to talk about. It like makes me so sad that I was like this. But I just felt like the whole world was against me. I stopped going into school, and school was a place that I used to love. I love learning. I just love learning, and I used to love coming into school and doing work and homework. And then I was too scared to go into school. It really stresses me out that people made me feel like that. I got bullied in sixth form, I don't even care. Like, people will disagree with this. The people who have bullied me will say they didn't. People will think that they didn't affect my life, that what they said and what they did didn't affect my life, or they didn't have an impact on it, but they did. There was literally people tweeting about me with my name in, and there was rumours going around me that obviously weren't true, and it was just like pathetic things, like people believing rumours of things that I apparently had said that clearly I didn't, because I'm not that person at all. And I just lost everyone in my life apart from Aiden, and then obviously Megan. Was completely drained and exhausted. It was just bad. Like, I can't explain how bad it was. I'd never felt that horrible in my life, and I couldn't even come to school. I was terrified of coming to school. I'd cry every morning. I'd lose sleep, which in effect made my mum start losing sleep. My grandparents were worrying. It like affected my entire family's life, and it really makes me so angry that people, just from comments at school and from like stupid rumours being spread and everything escalating, has actually affected not only mine, but it's made my family's life shit. Like, I don't know how people dare to say stuff to people. Like, I don't know where people get the balls to do that, but I just keep myself to myself. I have I try not to be as judgmental, even if I don't like the way someone says something or don't agree with someone's views. I try and take it into account. I am quite opinionated, but I do try and keep my judgments to a minimum, because I know people can feel like a certain way because of their background and stuff. I don't know, I just don't know how people can openly say things and spread things that aren't anyone else's business. But obviously overall I lacked confidence to even attend school. For my last 3 months at school, I asked for study leave, but I was kindly granted permission to leave school for 3 months to focus on my exams outside of school. I was fine when I was at home because I love working in my own environment anyway, but I preferred it even more because going into school made me feel physically sick and I couldn't concentrate on anything in my lessons, outside of lessons, walking around school. I would be beyond anxious. I was literally terrified to be in that building. And it's really sad that I had to go through this, and probably many other people are going through it right now, where they can't even step into a school building without feeling comfortable. Like, I should feel comfortable in school. Like, I had to go in there every single day, and I wanted to go in there to learn, but I just couldn't because of other people and my emotions and everything that had built. This then started ruining my social life too. I stopped going to parties because no one liked me anyway. I was terrified that I would get hurt or people would confront me about things I hadn't said and it would just go badly. In the new year, from 2016 to 2017, I went to this party and I started and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually having a good time. I'd semi-become friends with a few more people that I could stand, and like, it was kind of with a group of people from a Megan school. I was enjoying myself, and then a group of people came and my night completely changed again. I literally was silent. I wanted to go home. I couldn't think of anything worse than being in the house. And yeah, I don't know, it just all started again, and it's just so shit because I lacked confidence, and then that made me start lacking independence. I'd never really been an independent person. Obviously in terms of views and stuff, I was independent and what I believed in, but I started to depend on people. I wanted to constantly be around people to stop me from feeling so low. I couldn't walk down the street on my own, be alone. That's why I had to go, like, I wanted to be, because I couldn't be with Aiden constantly. I didn't want to like constantly bring him down and be with him all the time, because I didn't want to affect him like I'd affected my family. And I just felt like everything was my fault, even though I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know, this is so difficult to talk about and get out what I want. But anyway, so just before I stopped going into school, I started getting counselling sessions. Someone in sixth form, basically, one of the team leaders, I guess, advised me to see the school counsellor, which I did. I saw her, I'd say, about 6 times, and she was the loveliest woman ever. She was really nice, I don't know, she was just very soothing and praised me for things that I did over the week, and she'd try and like ask me questions about what have I done good in the week, and I'd just be like, nothing. Like, I couldn't see any sort of positive thing about myself. I hated myself because I thought all of the reason I felt this way was because it was my fault. Everyone disliked me because it was, I don't know, I just thought, I just hated myself. And the counselling overall I don't think helped massively, which is quite a controversial thing to say. The woman I was speaking to was such a wonderful woman. She was lovely. I didn't see myself getting better, so I stopped obviously counselling when I stopped going to school, basically before my exams. And I just constantly studied at home on my own. I just isolated myself from my family then, and I just completely changed as a person. I was horrible. I hated how I was earlier on in this year before exams, and just who I was from November last year. I had just been completely destroyed by school and hormones, I guess. And then I remember my last massive panic attack before I started, I guess, progressing to the level of confident I am now. My last panic attack was during my first biology exam. I was sitting in my exam seat. I didn't want to leave because that means that I might not have been able to complete my exam again. I was sweating, my hands were so like clammy. I was literally, before I went in, I was shaking. Like, by shaking I literally mean like this. I started crying in my exam, but like I was trying to make it discreet as possible. They clearly saw that I was crying though, because there was literally 4 of us in the exam room. I was like crying, sweating, I was like, my legs were like shaking like this. I couldn't concentrate on the paper at all. I thought I'd failed the paper completely, and I just couldn't wait for the exam to be over. It went so quickly. I didn't finish the paper. I was panicking so much, and then I started having a meltdown again. Didn't speak to anyone properly for 3 days after that exam. I just locked myself in my room and just didn't want to eat or talk or see anyone. It was really bad. And then after exams, me and my boyfriend went on holiday straight away. Went to Mexico. It was the first time I felt relaxed. There was nothing on my mind that I needed to do, obviously for school, and I just felt completely relaxed. I was like literally the other side of the world from all the hate and the sadness that I was feeling. Chilled, having the best time of my life. Summer was amazing, and I think the start of the summer from Mexico onwards helped me like get out of this like dark hole where I hated myself and my body. At this time I'd actually lost 2 stone, so before my holiday I'd lost 2 stone as well. I'm guessing weight loss as well was making me unhappy too, like, because just being on a diet and losing weight is just depressing as in itself. Like, I don't know, I just find it hard anyway, because I hated my body too, so I don't know, it was just added towards the hatred. But I'd actually lost the amount of weight that I wanted to, obviously not completely. I wasn't perfect body, my perfect body image, but I just felt a little bit more confident in myself, so I was fine like being in a bikini and stuff on holiday. I was just walking around normally, and just everything was so good. And I'm glad that the summer holiday started off well, and then from then onwards I just packed my summer holiday with things to do. So 1, I couldn't think about anything bad that had happened to me during school, and 2, so I could get cramming everything that I'd wanted to do, or a lot of things that were on my bucket list that I wanted to do before I started university and became really poor. So in the summer, this is the time where I decided to focus more on myself. I wanted so badly to become this confident, independent person who didn't worry about her past and just moved on from everything, completely cut people off out of my life that I didn't need or were bringing me down. And this is the time where I literally focused on myself and my confidence, boosting my independence and all that sort of thing, to make me a better person. And I think the way that I'd done this was sort of doing things that I wanted to do, like put yourself first, do what you want to do, keep yourself busy. Like, I worked a lot in the summer as well. I literally worked just so I could get money and do things. I didn't save any of it. I didn't want that. I just wanted to work and just do loads of new experiences, activities, go to places, travel, and do what I wanted, just so that I could have like these memories that I could keep with me forever and make me happy throughout the summer, as I had the shittest school year ever. And now moving on to university, where I am now, I'm currently studying at the University of Lincoln and I'm doing forensic science. And it is honestly the best decision of my entire life. I've been here for 2 months, so it's quite a dramatic thing to say that it has been the best decision of my life. I honestly think it's the best thing that's happened to me. I honestly think it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, because I've just come here. So I came here, I started to get a little bit anxious, but I kind of came here with like a clear head. I was so excited to start a new life where people would have no idea who I was. They hadn't heard loads of shit about me that wasn't true. They had no clue where I'd come from or anything. I could start afresh. It's just so lovely to have made new friends that are accepting and loving and caring and genuine and honest, and I don't know, I'm so happy with the people that I'm surrounded with at the minute. I have grown, like, I've literally grown so much in these 2 months, I can't even explain. University has been the best decision for me. Obviously it's not I'm not saying go to university to improve your confidence levels, but that's just what's helped me so much. I think 1, because I've moved away from my hometown and I'm starting new where there's no one I know. Well, obviously there are a couple people from my hometown that have come to Lincoln, but the majority of people here have no idea who I was. Not that I was anything bad, but what I thought I was anyway. It's just like a fresh slate where I've been able to bond with new people who are very similar people to me, like my friend Hattie, who I've been blessed with in my flat. We are literally the most similar people, and I feel so lucky and privileged to have met her. She has had a massive impact on my life the past 2 months. I'm gonna cut out me crying because I don't want it to be like a really sad video, because I've made this video to show how my confidence level has gone from nothing to like 99% in the space of a year. So I'm sorry if I do have like bits of me talking and crying, because I don't want it to be like that at all. That's why I'm trying to cut out as much as possible. But my happiness is literally 100% right now. I'm so happy. I love the course that I'm doing. I have a job blogging for the university. My YouTube and blog are doing really well at the minute, and I'm putting so much time and effort into it at the minute, and it's really paying off. I've made new friends. My flatmates are amazing. Me and Hattie are literally tight best friends, and then obviously Megan, who lives in a different accommodation, but she's obviously still my best friend. And just like living in a new place has been so refreshing and really helped me grow into a new person and helped me into adulthood. I'm so independent now. I can't explain. Like, I was talking to Sophie the other day when I came home, my friend Sophie, who's also on YouTube. I think we were doing a live stream, we were talking about confidence, and she literally was saying how unconfident I was before I came to uni. How when we went to, like, for example, when we went to McDonald's, I can't speak on that little thing through the like driver's seat, so Sophie would have to like speak over the next to me, because I can't speak on them things. Like, I just get so worked up about it and anxious, and I don't know, I just hated doing things like that, like talking to new people, talking publicly, like in shops and stuff. I don't know, I used to be so like dependent on others, and I would never stick up for myself. I would never like stick up for myself properly, but now I'm like the complete opposite way around. I've grown so much in confidence. Like, I got the train alone last week, and I would have never done that this time last year. That would literally be my worst nightmare if it was me last year. I also went shopping on my own when my flatmates went home for their reading week, and I would have never done that. I would have never been seen outside, like on my own in my hometown. I always had to be around someone else to make me feel comfortable. But I went shopping on my own. It's just like I'm a completely new person, but in the best way possible. And don't get me wrong, I do miss my family and everything back at home and the people I do have at home, but I just feel my happiest when I'm in Lincoln, because I'm not reminded of all the horrible things that happened to me back in my hometown. I don't know, I just feel so happy here, and I feel like I wanted to share that story with you, how I've been able to like publicly speak in social situations and do all these like amazing things independently on my own, happy, confident, yay. I'm just a little disclaimer, I don't think I'm inspirational, but I just kind of wanted this to motivate people and make them feel hopeful. Like I said earlier, life can get better, and even if you are in this like dark hole where you don't think anything better can happen, or you're worried that your life is never going to get better, then I 100% promise you that it will. No matter where you are right now, whether you're feeling low, sad, insecure, lonely, you are going to get somewhere. You're going to be surrounded by people who love you and care for you. I thought I had no one. When I obviously had my boyfriend, when I had my boyfriend Megan and my family, I felt like I was so lonely because I was so unhappy with my life. But you do have these people around you who care for you, love you and support you. If you ever honestly need someone to talk to, please email me. My email is always down below, because I have chats with some of you about university in general, but I'd love to like help people who are struggling right now with their maybe mental health. I'm not saying that I'm sort of like a mental health guru or a counsellor or anything, but I just feel like sometimes when you have a chat with someone like my counsellor who has no idea who you are or about your life or anything connected to you, it's nice to have a chat with someone who can give their opinion or just like literally just voice everything that you're feeling right now out. If you do want to email me anything you're going through right now, then I would be so happy to try and reply to you and have a little chat, and maybe I can help. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to this really like not random story time, but I feel like I've rambled a lot, and I hope that people have stuck around to the end. And if you have stuck around, comment below a balloon emoji, just so I know that you have got this far and you did care about this story and I didn't bore people too much. Hit the thumbs up if you do want me to do more story times, and hopefully next time it can be something funny and lively. I just felt like I needed to do this personally to like completely move on from all of what's happened last year to now. And again, subscribe down below if you're new and you did enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!